Well, we're over 24 weeks into the Biden administration, and we got questions that need answers. Last week we left off in Cuba. The Cubans have been nonstop protesting against the unfair treatments being passed down from their government. The socialist and communist regime in Cuba has left scarce resources for their citizens and has caused a war in the country. Joe Biden says the U.S. stands with Cuba and will continue to sanction those responsible for the oppression of the Cuban people. But when Cubans tried to flee and come to America as refugees and seek asylum, the government said no and sent them back. This is quite confusing, being that this administration has been so outspoken on how humane they are and how America is and should be a safe place for refugees, asylum seekers, and migrants. And just a very short 4 months ago, Joe Biden was opening up the floodgates down at the border and allowing in 25,000 asylum seekers coming through Mexico. So why now the change of heart? Does it have something to do with the vast majority of those coming through Mexico would vote for communism, while the vast majority of those coming through Cuba will vote for freedom? Well, I'll let you decide. But while the president is playing politics, the people are getting pissed. And Cuban Americans have congregated outside of the White House demanding help and demanding it now.
He needs to step up because he has helped a lot of other countries, okay? Why not Cuba? Is he a communist too? That is my question to you, Biden. I voted for you. You haven't done nothing for my people.
Sis, don't feel isolated. Other than feeding us misinformation, continuously contradicting himself, and stuttering on cue, Joe has done nothing for Americans either. Take his town hall, for example. CNN hosted a town hall to get some concrete answers from the president on major topics the country is facing, such as vaccines, COVID restrictions, increasing crime, specifically gun violence, infrastructure, and the massive shortage of employees. Listen to how Joe responded when asked about policing the increase in crime rate and gun violence.
Actually, crime is down. Gun violence and murder rates are up. Guns. I'm the only guy that ever got passed legislation when I was a senator to make sure we eliminated assault weapons. The idea you need a weapon that can have the ability to fire 20, 30, 40, 50, 120 shots from that weapon, whether it's a 9mm pistol or whether it's a rifle, is ridiculous. I'm continuing to push to eliminate the sale of those things.
Now, as much as I think gun violence is a major issue, banning guns across the board ain't it. But I'm not surprised. I told y'all a few months back they were coming for our guns.
So to gun owners out there who say, well, a Biden administration means they're going to come for my guns.
Bingo. You're right if you have an assault weapon. The fact of the matter is they should be illegal, period.
Since when is a 9mm a big scary gun? It is a standard gun in many households used to protect ourselves from martial law. I meant from criminals. And confiscating them is once again spitting on the Constitution and clearly doesn't solve the problem. Because if it did, the streets would be much safer after Joe Biden's assault rifle ban in 1994. But at this point, the government can come take my gun. I'll be happy to give them the bullets, one by one. Especially when you're sending people to us to check if we have taken this experimental vaccine that hasn't even been approved by the FDA.
The drugs that are designed to kill the virus came along so quickly. Been working on it for 2 decades. There's nothing quick about this.
This vaccine has been developing for decades, and the FDA still doesn't trust it? So why should we? Especially those in the Black community that feel that Black people have been medical guinea pigs for America forever. How can we trust you?
If your kid wanted to find out whether or not there's a man on the moon or whatever, something, or, whether those aliens are here or not, who are the people they talk to beyond the kids who love talking about it? They go to people they respect. And they say, what do you think?
Well, that explains why Hollywood and celebrities alike are pushing this vax so hard. They're being used for relatability. Joe, we don't care who you got pushing the poison. We want to know why we should trust this vaccine.
You're okay. You're not going to get COVID if you have these vaccinations.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Well, that's not what we heard. According to the media, a flight full of vaccinated Texas Democrats have tested positive for COVID. And when we asked Jen about it, she said,
"We certainly understand there will be breakthrough cases. Even vaccines that are incredibly effective are not foolproof. They're not 100% effective. We've seen that."
Confirmed today there's been a breakthrough case.
Yep.
But you're also confirming there have been other breakthrough cases.
Yep.
But you had not previously disclosed that there had been.
And that's correct. And we had committed during the transition that if it was a commissioned officer, who are the highest level ranking people in the White House and in this building here, that we would make that information publicly available. We stand by that commitment.
So if it's anyone below that, you don't feel the need to let people know?
Well, again, that's the commitment we made. I'm here talking to all of you today and sharing with you information about the individual who received a positive test yesterday.
Right.
So wait. Trump comes out on the balcony and waves in his front page news that he is a possible super spreader. Meanwhile, this vaccinated administration has had multiple COVID outbreaks on government grounds, and nobody said shit to us. And now the CDC is saying those who have had the vaccine are now possible super spreaders. And y'all's ringleader, Doc Fauci, is in the hot seat trembling because he knows his lies are catching up to him.
They are gain-of-function viruses because they were animal viruses that became more transmissible in human, and you funded it. And you admit the truth.
And y'all want us to trust you? This is confusing and misleading as hell. And you wonder why there's a shortage of workers? If you haven't noticed, employers are dying for employees, especially in the retail, restaurant, and hospitality industries. But no one is going back to work because
there's a lot of people who are looking to change their occupation. I think, but I could be wrong.
No, Joe. It's because the more the government feeds us lies and misinformation, the more people are sitting home capitalizing on the situation. It's called the COVID come up. People are making more sitting at home collecting unemployment and scamming the PPP and EIDL.
It's argued that because the extended unemployment benefits kept people, they'd rather stay home and not work than go to work.
You don't think it did that?
I see no evidence that had any serious impact on it.
And now, with you guys instilling a new fear in us over this Delta variant and introducing Max again, we are going backwards. But this is the plan, though, right? Scare us, mask us, lock us down, take our guns, and control our finances. And 81 million of y'all said this was a good idea.